Good morning, Pantsers. So I was talking to my friend earlier about how I needed to make a video still tonight and how I didn't really have anything to talk about, and I had a sudden realization that I have made over 100 videos for this channel, and I thought, well, that's kind of sad. I would have expected to be better than this by now. So as usual, I have no specific topic this week. Shocker, I know. So I'm just gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. And by stuff, I mean the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. So we're all still watching Lizzie Bennet, right? Because if at least a significant portion of the channel isn't still watching Lizzie Bennet, then there's not really any reason for me to keep talking about it. But I keep talking about it because I feel like it's something we're all kind of doing together, even though we aren't actually watching them together. Like, we're all still watching them, and since I'm not on Tumblr anymore, really, I miss that. I miss being able to kind of do something with you guys. So I'm still reading the book, kind of, you know, as they go, approximately. I've read it a bunch of times before. I mean, if this was the first time I'd read the book, I would have just, like, read it straight through, but this time I just thought I would read in sections as they go through. And I'm pretty much keeping up to where they are. In the book, I'm up to just where she gets to Pemberley. I am really enjoying the Pemberley arc in the videos. I am having a really good time watching everything kind of go down. I think that, Daniel Gord, his first Darcy Pemberley video, I thought was probably my favorite video that he's been in so far. I thought he was really, really good. I thought he did a really good job of conveying how different Darcy is as far as Lizzie is concerned from when she's met him before, even after the, you know, the proposal scene and all that stuff. Although I guess it's not really a proposal scene in the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, is it? It's just a declaration. The Pemberley scene is the first time that she really sees him being more like his normal self. He's relaxed, he's at home, he's on his own turf, and he's comfortable, and he's not around a bunch of strangers, which I gotta say is something I can sympathize with. You know, Darcy is not my favorite Austen hero. My favorite Austen hero is Henry Tilney, whom I love deeply, but I probably identify more with Darcy than anybody else, simply because I think Darcy's main problem is that he's really socially inept. He's really uncomfortable around strangers. He's introverted, he's not good in crowds, and he gets really silent and really withdrawn. It comes off as aloofness and snobbishness. And I have been there. I have had that conversation with people about what seems to them very bad behavior. So, like, I kind of get Darcy. I feel for him hugely because I know what it's like to be accused of snobbery and arrogance and rudeness and aloofness when it's not that at all, when it's just that you're uncomfortable. So it was really nice to see the difference in the way that he behaves when he's elsewhere and the way that he behaves when he's at Pemberley, where he feels comfortable. Of course, I mean, it's not just that, it's also all the stuff that he's gone through since the last time he saw Lizzie, and since their, you know, giant argument. But I always feel like a lot of the reason that Darcy is so different when he sees her again is that he's at home, he's on his own ground, and he's around people he knows, and he's comfortable. You know, for people who have a lot of social problems, like, that has a lot to do with the way that you react in situations. And I thought he did a really good job, and I really enjoyed watching that particular episode a lot. This whole sort of Pemberley thing, I think, has been really, really fun. It makes me so sad because all I can think about every episode is how close we are to the end and how much closer we're getting every time there's a new episode. And I just don't want it to be over. I don't want the Lizzie Bennet Diaries to end. It makes me really sad. All I can think of is, you know, it's gonna end and then it's never gonna happen again. Like, there won't be any more Lizzie Bennet Diaries. There won't be, you know, a new season or whatever. It's not something that's gonna come back when it's over, and it makes me really sad. And I know that Hank and Bernie Sue and some other people have talked about how they've considered doing other things, you know, other adaptations, other whatever, you know, other shows. But no matter what other shows they do, even if the other shows are amazing, there's still not going to be Lizzie Bennet Diaries, and I'm still going to miss the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. I feel like they've done a really good job adapting Pride and Prejudice into the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, and I feel like they've done an amazing job with their casting. I think everybody's pretty awesome. Did a really good job of choosing actors who worked really well together, and I feel very appreciative of the work that they've done in that respect. I really like, too, the adaptations they've made on people's characters. Like Lydia, you know, whether you love this Lydia or hate her. I know some people really don't like her. They find her really obnoxious. I really like Lydia. I think she's amazing. And I think Mary-Kate Wiles is amazing. But there's no getting around the fact that this Lydia is a much more interesting character than the Lydia in the book, who is extremely flat and kind of one note. And I mean, she's meant to be a shallow character, you know, because we only see her through Lizzie's eyes in the book. She never has any depth or complexity, and since we are allowed to see her ourselves in the videos, you know, even though we are necessarily seeing a filtered version by the very nature of video editing, we still get to see a lot more of her and make a lot of our own judgments about who she is and why she behaves the way she does and how she feels about things. Mr. Collins, too, you know, he's a very flat character in the book, and they have made him a much more interesting character, I think. I feel like I've been talking about the Lizzie Bennet Diaries for a really long time. This is probably getting a little bit too long. Because, you know, the 4-minute rule, I adhere to that so strictly. We are very concerned about that as a channel. I love you guys. I'm glad you've borne with me for this mini videos. It's really, really kind of you. Have a great week. DFTBA.